friends, I'm Carla Turner. Today I'll take you through a lower body strength and pelvic stability reformer Pilates flow. First things first, 2 medium springs and 1 light spring on your reformer, and then we'll flip to face our foot bar. Scooting all the way to the edge of the carriage, your feet can come on that platform, arms can come straight out front. So like we got punched above the belly button, we're slowly rolling down 1 vertebra at a time. So our headrest, you can choose to have it up or down. I'm going to keep mine up for some footwork. But before we do anything, since part of our focus for today is our pelvic stability, we're going to talk about the pelvis to begin with. So we can imagine we have a water glass on our pelvis here. This is a big water glass, but let's say a pitcher on our pelvis. So when we tuck the pelvis, we're pressing our low back into the carriage. That water glass, that pitcher threatens to spill toward the chest or the stomach. And then we arch the back, that water jug threatens to spill toward the thighs. There's a bit of a gap under my back, that anterior tilt. And then somewhere in the middle, where the natural curves of our spine are maintained, that's a neutral spine. So we're going to continue to rock through that pelvis, sometimes called pelvis tilts, pelvis rocks. And then we come back through center. Okay, natural curves of the spine are maintained. Heels are onto that foot bar. Our feet are flexed like they're flat up against a wall. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, press your feet into the foot bar, send the carriage out. Inhale to come back in again, extending and bending the legs. So you can pay attention to what your knees are doing. Sometimes if we find that our knees want to fall more in toward each other than out, that's where what my legs want to do anyways, we could take a magic circle or even a band just above our knees on our thighs. And then that encourages us to press the thighs out to the side, finding that alignment. And the reverse is true too. If your knees kind of fall out to the side or want to, you could grab a Pilates ball or a small towel, small pillow, pop it between your knees, and then we're encouraging our adductors and our thighs to work. Props provide feedback more than anything. And then we'll come halfway in, pulse the carriage, back an inch, forward an inch. That pulse can get bigger, more like a foot. And then even bigger, not quite our full range of motion. And then extend the legs nice and long, bending, coming back in again. We'll go wide, still onto our heels, onto either corner of that foot bar. Inhale to prep, exhale to press out. So right now we're trying to press evenly through both of our heels here, keeping our pelvis nice and stable. And then we'll come halfway in, pulsing the carriage. Good. Bigger. And then bigger yet. Not quite that full range of motion. Last one, stretch the legs out long, bend, come back in again. We'll come onto our toes, staying nice and wide, finding all 5 toes onto the corner of our foot bar here, extending the legs long. So when you bend your legs and come in, check that your knees aren't going wider than your shoulders, maybe even the frame of the carriage if you want to go a little bit wider. That's so we can maintain an inner thigh connection. So we don't want to promote dysfunctional movement. So when we can keep our pelvis stable, then we can focus on, in our case today, our lower body strength. We're not compensating by, say, dumping into the lower back. Let's go out and stay out, alternating, prancing, dropping 1 heel at a time. 1 leg bends, 1 leg stays straight. And then both heels can lift, both heels can lower, calf raises. I can only handle so many of those until I'm just wishing to go back to the other one. It's a lot on the backs of the calves, ankles for me, maybe for you too. And then both heels lift, we'll bend, come back in again. Okay, let's bring both of our heels beside each other. Heels are together, ankles are together, knees are together. It's like we only have 1 leg. Right leg comes to tabletop, knee above our hip, pressing the carriage out and in thanks to that left leg. So this can be a little heavy. You could take off your light spring here. Let's add an extension. So when the carriage comes in, we kick the leg long over the foot bar, back to tabletop when we go out. So while we're often focused on what this gesture leg, in this case the right leg, is doing, it's still important that we're focusing on, am I straightening the left leg fully before I bend and come back in? We don't want to forget about that leg. And we're training the pelvis here to transfer the load from one leg to the other. Next time you're out, stay out. We're riding a bicycle. Leg kicks to the ceiling, lowers down, carriage is still, cycling that right leg around. This could be a big bike, could be a small bike. Let's add the motion of the carriage. So next time you kick up, we're lowering the leg over the foot bar, carriage in. Out we go, tabletop. Is your left leg still straightening? Right leg should be just, or right hip actually, should be just as heavy, other direction here, as the left one. And then last one, come all the way out and then back in again. Let's switch. Feet are stuck back together again. Big toes, ankles, knees, heels are on. Left leg to tabletop, back to the start. Good. Bending and straightening. Add that extension of that left leg over the foot bar, and then we bring our leg to tabletop. Good. Some days when it's tough to work out, it's nice to know that for most of our reformer Pilates classes, we'll be starting down on our backs. Nice way to kind of ease into it. Let's come to our bicycle, carriage still. Kick the leg to the sky, lower down, tabletop. And then we certainly finish lying on our backs for feet and straps. Let's add in. Next time leg comes to the sky, we lower as the carriage moves in. Straighten the right leg fully, just as important as the cyclical motion. Switch directions, leg to the sky, bend, shooting over that foot bar. And then last one, we come all the way back in. Okay, last but not least, Pilates V on our toes. We'll work bilaterally to even things out after all that unilateral work. All 10 toes are on, heels are lifted, press out and in. Thighs squeeze together before you bend and come in. Really trying to find the center versus walking a little over to the left or right with the feet. Two more. And then on this last one, we'll come out and stay out, prancing, one at a time. Last two. Last one, and then we'll finish with both heels, lift and lower, calf raises. Last three. Two. And last one, come all the way in. Okay, this is where we want to lower our headrest. Coming all the way down to protect our cervical spine. I have a ponytail, so that also means that my head's gonna be up just a little bit, so kind of playing with what we do with our hair. That's one of the many things we talk about in Pilates all the time. We're always switching positions, what to do to get it out of our way. All right, heels are coming onto our foot bar. Feet are flexed. Carriage is nice and still. Big deep breath in. As you exhale, pick your bum up, send your hips up to the ceiling. Lower back down again. Good. Hips lift. Then inhale to prep. So right now, my pelvis, my spine are neutral. Natural curves in my spine are maintained. That neutral spine. Next time you're up, come up and stay up. We come halfway down to a baby bridge and then up again. So check that your feet stay like the number 11. Instead of pointing out to the sides, externally rotating. Last two. Last one, stay up. Smaller range of motion. Down an inch, up an inch. Super slow. Last two. Last one, come all the way down. Okay, our articulated bridge. So first thing we do is tuck the pelvis. I'm pressing my low back into the carriage, that posterior tilt I was talking about before. Also, heels can stay onto the foot bar here. So I start with that tuck first, and then the tailbone, low back, mid back come up, and then I'm lowering back down the way I came. Upper, mid, lower, back. Good. peeling up, and then back down again. Next time you're up, we're going to stay up. Feet stay flexed. Knee extensions, pressing the carriage out, bending and coming back in. Pressing out and in. So if my pelvis was about to tilt, that's how I would know I went too far. And if you're not totally certain, just don't go out all the way so your legs are straight. We're practicing here. And there's a lot to think about. A lot of steps involved with everything in Pilates. Last one, and then come all the way down, one vertebra at a time. Good. Okay. Feet can come close together. Arches of our feet are coming onto that foot bar. Middle of that foot. Hips lift up. We're going to march. One leg at a time comes to tabletop. So as we transfer the load from one leg to the next, we're really aiming to keep this pelvis of ours super still. And then that only helps us in our daily lives, walking, taking stairs, other forms of exercise. Next time your left leg is in tabletop, keep it here. Hips lift, hips lower. That hinge bridge, we move up in one shot, we lower back down. Exhale to come up. Inhale to come back down. We add on. Next time you're up, we kick the legs long so they're parallel, just the singular leg, let me be clear. Left leg bends, lower back down. We lift. Kick to find parallel thighs. Bend, back down again. You could always modify, sticking with both arches onto that foot bar. Next time you're up, stay up. We continue with the kick only. Check out the hips here. Is one higher than the other? Last two, last one, and then come all the way down. Okay, feet come back together. So we know where center is, middle of the foot, wrapping our feet around as best we can. Leg to tabletop, single leg bridges. Knee above the hip versus letting that knee come over our belly button or our chest. So this flat back bridge, working on our glute strength. That articulated bridge was more about our spinal mobility. We add on, we come up, kick the leg, bend the leg, lower down. Thighs parallel. Five seconds. 2, let's stay up. Bending and straightening the leg, kicking long over that foot bar for 3, 2, last one, come all the way down. Okay, knees can come into our chest here. We can rock from side to side. Little kind of happy baby vibes if you do yoga. And then we can kick one leg up to the ceiling, giving a pull behind that hamstring or that calf to get that hamstring stretch. And then we switch legs. Good. All right. Feet can tuck under that foot bar. Let's roll up to seated. So I'm going to come to a medium and a light spring. Okay. You could go to medium, but medium and light will give us better stability, likely better form. I like my headrest up. We'll bring that guy back up. Feet on the platform, very edge of the carriage. So we've got room to roll down one vertebra at a time, coming down onto that mat. Let's reach back for our short loops. Arms can come up to the ceiling. My feet are on that foot bar. I've got plenty of space between my shoulders and shoulder block. Arms to the sky. So back to talking about the pelvis here. Tuck the pelvis. Low back presses into the carriage. My knees are coming in just a little bit, so I'm pressing out to find my abs turn on. It's a fine line. If I go too far, my back arches here. So low back presses in. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, lower your arms to your sides. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. Legs could squeeze together. If you like to have some space between them, that's okay too. Let's add a chest lift. Curling up nice and high, lowering back down again. exhaling, coming up. Inhaling, back down. So I'm curling up high enough that I can easily see between my legs here so that I'm not into my neck. Think like next time you're down, you're trying to bring your ribs toward your hips. We add on single toe tap, foot comes down to tap by the springs, doesn't matter what leg. Next time you go down, it'll be the other one. Good. So while it feels like, okay, focus must be abs and arms, it is. It's also our ab and lat connection. So those muscles under your armpits. Next time you're up, stay up, alternating toe taps. Neck is long. If you got to rest your head, by all means, rest your head. And then double toe taps, meaning both legs. Both feet come down to tap low. If your low back threatens to arch or we're tilting into the pelvis too much, don't go as low. Last two. Last one, come all the way down. Good. So instead of going straight overhead, I'm going to come out onto a V. So I'm kind of as wide as my reformer here. Flat palms into the handles here, soft bend in my arms. We're coming into a lower and lift. I'm keeping my arms wide the whole time. Sometimes it's these little changes where it's just enough to challenge the body. I know my arms really want to come close in toward my hips. Single leg stretch. Arms go down, leg goes long. Alternating legs. Five more seconds. 2. Let's come up and stay up, holding the arms still, nice and wide, alternating with the legs. 3, 2, even it out both legs, and then come all the way down. Very good. Okay. Arms come back up to the ceiling. Legs are going into tabletop, heels together, toes apart. So I'm going to come back with my arms nice and close to my hips here. Big deep breath in. As you exhale, arms come down, double leg stretch. Legs to tabletop, back up we go with the arms. Heels glued together like there's a $100 bill between them. We add on. Next time your arms are long, legs long, flip your palms to face your thighs. Arms and legs open and close 3 times. Last one, heels back together, palms face the carriage, bend your legs, arms to the ceiling. 2 more times like that. So arms go low, legs go long, palms flip, open and close 3 times. Legs bent, palms to the carriage, back up. Last time, arms lower, flip your palms, legs long, open and close. 3 starfish, 2, last one, everything bends, relax, come all the way down. Okay, really feeling this one lately. Let's grab on a little bit higher to your ropes, maybe where your straps attached. Just make sure you don't slap yourself in the face with your straps. So arms come up to the ceiling. Our legs are coming into tabletop. Low back stays pressed into the carriage, extending and bending the arms. Good. Making sure the arms are nice and even here. Good. Option, single leg stretch when the arms go long. Focus is on the backs of the arms. Last 3. 2. Last one, I got to even things out. And then relax. Good. Come all the way down. Lovely. All right. Knees go one way, arms go the other. We're getting a twist into the body. A little spinal rotation. Perfect. Okay, we're going to come to lie. I'm going to come on my left side. So I'm facing you to start with, and I'm taking off one of my medium springs. You could go anywhere from a light to a medium. Okay, for this guy, we're gonna come into a side lying leg series. One of two options. You could put a ball, a Pilates ball, or a small pillow onto your headrest and then use that as a pillow. Or what I'm gonna do today, come onto your forearm, either on the headrest or in front of the shoulder blocks. And I'm scooting my body, bent legs, back and down as much as I can, taking up some space here. So take the time to position yourself properly. So like I said earlier, we're not promoting dysfunctional movement here, okay? So my strap in front, my long loop, is going to come onto the arch of my foot. Okay. Top leg is bent. So is the bottom one. Top leg is bent. I'm going to kick the leg long and then bend and come back in. So I am aiming to keep that front shin parallel-ish with the long edge of my carriage. Top arm could be like a kickstand, okay? Pressing up, or maybe you want your arm up to the sky. Our job here, talking pelvis for this workout, you want to keep this top hip stacked on top of the bottom one. We're not wanting to lean back or lean forward. I like to think my pelvis is encased in cement and only my leg can move here. Good. Last two, and then we'll keep the leg long, lowering and lifting. Good. I'm not wanting to bring this hip closer to my ribs, lifting that leg in the hip. Good. Boosting up through the lower side. 5, 2, last one, bend, come all the way in. Little high five here if you need it. Okay, we'll come into a bicycle. That's what we were doing when we were lying on our back, doing some footwork. Same thing. So I'm kicking the leg out, bending it to come in, extending, sweeping around. This could be like a tiny little bike. Nobody says we have to kick way out. We know stability matters more than anything today. Well, and every day in Pilates, but definitely today. Good. Switch directions. We're going backwards, leg long, bends, shoots toward that foot bar. Good. And if you can feel your glute, great. We're working it. We're strengthening it. Good. One side at a time so that our dominant side takes a back seat. Next time that leg is long, keep it long, up an inch, down an inch. Tiny. 3, 2, last one, come all the way in. Little high five here. Okay. Last but not least, we're sweeping the leg forward, and then we can give this shoulder a break. Lift through that left side. Lots of space between the rib cage and the carriage. Leg is long, sweeping toward whatever's in front of you. Good. To the left of my reformer in this case. Good. Eight seconds. 3, 2, keep the leg forward, tiny little pulses. 5, 2, and 1. Good, come all the way in. We'll high five it. Okay, before we come to the other leg, we'll come all the way in. If you need a bit more support, you could add a light spring, especially if you're already on a light spring, or come to a medium, but we know with a bit more spring, that offers us more support for some planking. So coming onto all fours, if you have a Pilates box, you could come on your forearms. You could come down onto your forearms here, since our feet are staying on the platform and not coming up to the foot bar today. Okay, I'm gonna add my little light spring here. Okay, hands are on the carriage. I'm pressing away from the carriage, feet are on the platform. Hover the knees. Press the carriage out for jackrabbit, bend and come back in. So one of two things often happens when we get tired. Our butt either ends up to the sky or we start to drop our hips into like a back bend. We don't want either of those things to happen. Pressing away as much as you can, chest from the carriage. Last 3 seconds. Last one, let's stay out, hinging from the shoulders. Carriage is out an inch, in an inch. 2. Last one, we come all the way in. So anytime we reset from our planks, you can always come to cat-cow, maybe child's pose on the reformer, whatever feels best for you. So we'll come into some single leg work because it'll be that much more challenging to keep both of our hips pointed down to the carriage. I like to think I have a water gun on either side of my hips here, pointed down to the carriage. I don't want it spraying my Off to the side, spraying my house. So we're keeping our hips down toward the carriage. Okay, hover the knees, press the carriage out. My right leg only into my chest, under that foot bar. In, out. Good. Let's switch legs. Left leg only. Last two. Last one. Both feet come back. We bend, come all the way in. Good. This time we're going to level up a little bit. We press away from the carriage. Right leg goes above the foot bar. Right leg lifts and lowers. Hips point down toward the carriage. Three seconds. Last one, switch legs. Trying not to hit the foot bar in the process. Left leg lifts and lowers. 3, 2, last one. Let's bend, come all the way back in for a little mini stretch. Okay, mountain climber series. Hands are on the carriage. You know the drill by now. Press away, hover the knees. We press out. The body, the whole body is stable, except for that one leg that comes in toward the body, alternating. So I'm not going to come so far in that I end up tilting the pelvis and then sending my butt up to the ceiling. Okay, we're alternating here. Everything else is super still. Add rotation. Knee can go to the opposite elbow. 5. 2 seconds. And then last one, I might as well even it out while I'm here. Bend, come all the way back in. Very nice, guys. Okay, we're coming to lie on our other side. I'm gonna remember to take off my light spring because I've been there. You might have too. You're like, ooh, something's not right. This leg's working a lot harder than the last one. So I had my arm on my headrest last time. I'm gonna do the same thing. Scooching my body back and down. Long loop, pulling it in toward us, bringing that strap onto our foot. So I'm on my right side, left strap is on my left foot. So coming into that bend and straighten of the left leg. Checking in with my hip, that my left is on top of my right. Good. Feet are parallel, so I'm not opening up out to the side. Last few seconds here. Last 2. And then last one, keep the leg long, lifting and lowering that leg. Long spine from the top of the head to the tail. Reminding myself, reminding you, all parties involved. Last 3. 2, keep the leg up, tiny little pulse. 2, and 1. Good, come back in. Might need an extra little high five here. This side, our left side, was stabilizing us when I was facing that way. So if this second side is calling to you a little faster, shouting a little louder, that's why. Okay, we're riding a bike here. So my leg is bent. I'm kicking it forward, circling it around. Good. And if you don't have a ton of space, again, this could be a small little bike. Cycling, circling around. Switch directions, other way. And then last one, kicking the leg long to the foot bar, up an inch, down an inch. For 3, 2, and 1, come all the way in. Good, okay. We know that we've got one more thing to do on this side. Lift up through that right side. Leg kicks long to the foot bar. Fake it till you make it if you have to. Sweep the leg forward. Finding that pelvic stability so we're truly strengthening into that glute and leg versus, say, dumping in that low back. Last 2. Last one, stay forward. Up an inch, down an inch. 3, 2, and 1. Really good. Come all the way in. Okay, so you can come to sit on your carriage. I'm gonna flip to face you. We'll come into a figure 4 stretch. So one leg over top of the other one, hinging forward, and then we'll switch. Good. Maybe you need more time there. You can always pause, take a little extra stretch. We'll do more of that, more stretching with feet and straps a little later. Okay, time to come to stand. So I am coming to my medium and light spring. Now, my medium and light is going to be a little bit lighter than yours, so you could likely stick with a medium here, okay? Headrest can be up or down, that's totally up to you. I'm gonna come to stand on my reformer. So I'm always bringing my platform, my stable foot on the surface first before I put it onto a moving platform. My feet are parallel, they're all lined up, I can see that, like the number 11. So I'm going to start with a carriage leg press. So this leg is going to bend, staying bent. Bending and straightening my carriage leg. You could drop your foot bar a notch if this bothered you, and it's totally okay to have your shin up against that foot bar. So if you wanted this to be heavier, you could go with a plain old heavy spring. Good. I'm gonna add some rotation. So every time my carriage leg goes long, I'm twisting at the waist toward my stable leg, come back through center, bend. I press out, twist to that platform leg, come back in again. You could have your hands on your hips and then back in. Elbows are wide. Adding that spinal rotation. So I'm aiming to keep my hips pointed forward, even though my top half is twisting. Last one, I'm going to stay out with the carriage leg, twisting only. Maybe even slowing it down a little. Last 3, 2, staying rotated over that foot bar. I'm gonna pulse up an inch, down an inch, into that left inner thigh. I feel it. 3, 2, 1, come all the way up. Good. Legs right after legs. Whose bright idea was that? Okay, checking that our feet haven't started to externally rotate at all. I'm going to bend my carriage leg. So we're coming into a platform press. Again, here or here. So I am bending into this carriage leg. The only leg that's changing shape is the platform leg, okay, the right leg. Full extension with this right leg. Let's add our rotation in. So the next time I've straightened out the right leg, I'm twisting over toward the bent carriage leg, coming back in. Last few seconds here. And then on this next one, I'm going out, staying out, rotating only. Twist, center. Last 2. Last one, stay rotated toward those risers, the carriage, pulsing up an inch, down an inch, driving into my left heel, which is like a straight line to the glute. Last 2 and 1, come all the way in. Whew, okay. Parallel feet here once again. I'm gonna go a little bit wider with my feet. So we know we usually have a bit more control if our feet are close together, so you could always go pretty close to the edge there. Coming into a standing saw, arms go out, palms face the floor, pressing your pinky toes into the carriage, lifting up your arches of your feet just a little bit. Pressing the carriage out, I'm going to twist at the waist. I'm gonna just build it step by step. Back through center, come in. Pressing out, twist at the waist, come back in again. Let's come into that full saw here. Come out, stay out, twist at the waist, reaching my right pinky finger toward my left baby toe, looking up to my left pinky finger. Come all the way up, and then I'm going to switch to the other side, twisting over to the right. Left hand comes down by my right foot, looking up to the right. trying to keep that carriage nice and still. Pressing into the pinky fingers. And if it moves like mine did, I should close the gap so I can maintain that distance. We're all just practicing here. Last one, and then we'll come back in again. Very nice. I'm going to pivot. Hands can come on the foot bar so that I'm facing my foot bar. Same right foot stays onto my platform. Left foot can come onto the carriage. You might have to play with how far back your left leg is going to go here. So hands could stay on the carriage or hand, okay? You could go hand or hands. I'm going to bend my right leg, hinging slightly forward. Left leg is bending and straightening. My arms, I'm going to bring goalpost, cactus arms by my side. Every time my left leg goes long, I'm going to shoot my right arms long. Biceps up by my temples, my hairline. Good. Hips stay pointed forward. That left hip, we don't want it to go back, twisting, in this case, toward you, toward the camera, when the left leg goes long. Next time that leg is long, keep it long. I'm pulsing up an inch, down an inch from that right leg. 3, 2, 1. We switch it up, hands to hips. Right leg is bent. Come up nice and tall. Right leg straightens out. Balance, good. Bending, coming back down again. Good, that's why that foot bar's there. Little trick I learned long ago, like when I was in junior high, was like balance. You can always put your fingertips to your belly button. That often helps. And some days are just better than others, balanced in all the ways. Next time we're down, stay down. Pulsing again, just like we did a few moments ago with that right glute. 3, 2, come all the way up. Very good. Since we're here, let's plank a little, shall we? Okay, hands are going to come onto that foot bar. I'm going to bring my right foot to come right beside the left. I'm coming up onto my tippy toes into this little pike position here, pressing the carriage out, shoulders right above your wrists. Hips come up to the ceiling. Thumbs are with your fingers. Love a good pike. Five seconds. 2, and then we hold here. Long stretch, hinging from the shoulders, pulling, resisting the springs as you come back in. Kind of like a push and a gentle little pull as the abs come in. Out and in. 3 seconds. Boost away from the foot bar. Last one, we come in, we switch legs. Left foot comes on the platform. I'm going to do all the work that we did this way first. Right foot, good where it is. Starting, hands maybe stay on the foot bar, and I'm bending and straightening the back leg. Arms could go long. When the leg goes long, the arms go long. Arms bend, leg bends. Hips point toward that foot bar, just over top. Five seconds here. 2, keep that back leg long, pulsing from that left glute, that left leg, up an inch, down an inch. 3, 2, we switch it up, hands to hips, straightening out that left leg, bending to come back down again. Hands on the hips is where we can check what's happening with the pelvis as well. And Pilates, it really is about being mindful, because sometimes we get lost in our heads, right? I'm like, oh yes, fully straighten my own front leg too. Good, let's go nice and long here, pulsing up an inch, down an inch, like we did before. 3, 2, and then 1, come all the way in. Good, guys. Okay, hands can come on the foot bar. We're going to flip and face the final direction here. the second direction. All right, my feet are pretty close here. I went wide for a little bit later in our exercises. So coming down to bend the platform leg. Platform leg is bent. Bending and straightening this carriage leg. Hands can come to our temples. Good. Low with this left leg, the platform leg. I add on. Next time my carriage leg is long, I'm twisting toward the footbar leg, come back through center, drag that carriage in. Pilates is resistance training. Resist that spring, that bungee cord, whatever you've got for your resistance on your reformer. Last few here. Last one, I'm going to stay here, rotating only toward that left leg. Carriage is still. 3, 2, and then staying rotated toward the left, pulsing up an inch, down an inch from that left leg. So we're returning to some of the same patterns. That's how we get stronger. Doing the same thing more than once. Last one, come all the way in. Good. Whew, hamstrings, inner thighs, all the things. Check, check, check. Okay, we bend the carriage leg, getting low. It's my left leg, my platform leg that's bending and straightening, pressing away, resisting to come in. Elbows wide. Leg straightens. Add your rotation. We press out, twist toward that bent leg, come back in, the carriage leg. Five seconds. Next time we go out, stay out, rotation only, twisting at the waist. Jam lid on a jam jar, just the top half, twisting. Or we're not getting anything with trying to open up a jar. Last 2. Stay rotated, pulsing up an inch, down an inch. 3, 2, and then we come all the way in. Good. Whoo-wee. Okay. I'm going to start out a little bit wider. We're coming into our standing saw, so I'm building it piece by piece like I did the last time. Pinky toes press in. Arches are arching, trying to lift up off that floor, off the carriage and the platform. So long arms, long spine. We press out. Drag to come back in again. Press out. We twist, twisting over toward the foot bar. Come back through center. Come back up again. Good. Up, twist, back through center, up. Let's add on. We press out, twist, reach down. My right pinky finger for my left toe. Come back up, twist over to the other side. So reaching, aiming to keep that carriage still. Looking up behind you to that back arm. Carriage moved, getting tired, pull it in a little. It's always okay to reset. Twist, reach up, coming up, twisting over, look up, come all the way in. Good, guys. Okay, we have evened ourselves out. So I'm going to flip to face the foot bar once again. Feet come together, heels are lifted. Press the carriage out. Thumbs are with your fingers. Take a minute to situate yourself here. We are going to bring our right knee into our chest. Left leg bends to press out and in. Left leg goes long. Check in. Bend and come in. Good. Good. Let's add the extension of the right leg. So when my left leg comes in, my right leg kicks long. Alternating. Hips are still. Last 2. Last 1. Come all the way in. Feet can come together. I'm going to step back just a little bit, stretching it out. Ears between biceps. And then we'll come back up. We got one more, my friends. Okay. My feet were pretty close to the edge of the carriage here, pressing the carriage out. Find your plank first. Thumbs with fingers, press away, soft bend into the elbows. Left leg comes in toward me, bend and straighten the right leg. Press away from the carriage. An alternative here, if your wrists bother you, is to do all of this facing the other way, forearms on the carriage. Add that extension of the left leg. Right leg bends to come in, left leg shoots long to the risers behind me. 3, 2, last one, we come all the way in. Very good, guys. Okay, I'm gonna come onto my knees here. Left foot comes forward onto the platform. I'm gonna keep my shin up against the foot bar, coming up nice and tall, hips forward, pressing the right leg away, dragging it back in. So a modification, or not a modification, a variation of Eve's lunge. And then we can straighten out the front leg. Maybe you're coming onto your heel, hinging forward, hamstring stretch. And we can keep it active, coming out and in. And if this feels too much like strength work and not a stretch, take off one of your springs, light spring, or change to a light. And then we'll come all the way in. Okay, switching feet. Front leg is bent. Pressing away. And then back. So there'll be a little tiny tuck of the pelvis depending on how far we go back. And then coming back in again, we can come onto that heel, hinging forward, hamstring stretch. Good news, we're gonna come to 2 medium springs. So I'm gonna change my springs. And then headrest up for me. Coming to the very edge of our carriage, arms come straight out, slowly rolling down one bone at a time. All right, let's reach back for our long loops. And we've made it to the very best part, my friends. Long loops come onto the arches of our feet. Legs can come to tabletop. Heels together, toes apart, gluing the heels together. Extend the legs long, bend and come back. Good. So if you ever want more of an ab workout at this stage, you're like, yeah, got extra energy, I'm good. You could come up to a chest lift, extending and bending the legs. Most of the time I find that one as a Pilates teacher and for myself, everybody wants to lay down when we're at this stage. Next time you're out, stay out, go wide, bend and straighten. Let's do one of each. So the next time you go out, glue your legs together, bend and come in. Go out, go wide, bend and come in. So it's like one wide squat, one narrow squat. And then you can bring your heels in toward you. We'll come to tabletop. Let's come to swimming frog. Legs go long, open, bend in toward you, heels together, extend long. Open, bend, heels together, go long. So it's like the kick we use for breaststroke. But to be honest, I can never remember which way it is unless I was in the water or on my stomach, switch directions. We'll go the other way. And I don't dare guess now. Good. It feels like this one though. And then last one, legs go long. Okay, this is my favorite lately. Let's come to Peter Pan, also called stag, bow and arrow, lots of names. Left leg bends. Left knee goes out to the side as your right straight leg goes out to the side. So you're trying to aim your heel bent, the heel of the bent leg in line with your belly button as you go from side to side. Getting that inner thigh stretch. This is all being done on a 45-degree angle. And And then last one. And we can bend both of our legs here. Bottoms of your feet can come together. Nice work today. Let's focus on our breath here. Maybe you want to lower your legs down toward the springs for a moment. You can keep your left leg bent. You could either have it come onto the edge of your carriage or your wooden frame or metal frame or the floor. So my carriage is very close to the floor. Right leg goes out to the side, inner thigh stretch. So this might be a little low, but kind of play with it. As long as this left bent leg is relaxed, it's chilling out, then you're good. Right leg crosses the body or starts to, getting a stretch into the outside of the leg, into that IT band. And then we'll switch. Right leg can bend and rest, carriage, frame, or floor. Left leg out to the side. And you can even support your left hand onto your leg if you're worried you're going to go too far out to the side. Good. Gonna have to find a sweet spot. And then cross the body over to the right side. And we'll come back through center. Hamstring stretch to finish things off. I like to bend my left leg and just do one at a time. You could do both at the same time. Right leg to the sky, give a pull on the rope. And then switch, other leg. Both knees can come into your chest. Let's take our straps off, slowly letting that carriage come in. And then we can roll ourselves up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me today for our lower body strength and pelvic stability reformer flow. Let me know if there's any other specific classes that you're looking for, and I'll work on getting to those, and they're out every single Monday.